on Israel, a consequence of Israeli government breaking international laws. Police launch manhunt for KLIA shooting suspect. Malaysia Madani, I am Olivia Nicholas and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said Iran's attack on Israel was a consequence of the Israeli government breaking international laws by bombing the Iranian embassy on the 1st of April. Met today in the nation's capital, he also said that the attack and war between the two regional foes was not good for world economy and peace and has called for a special meeting today with the cabinet to discuss what action should be taken.
Di peringkat antarabangsa tentulah menuntut supaya dapat dijamin penyelesaian kedamaian di Timur Tengah kerana apa yang berlaku di sana akan menjejaskan keamanan dunia dan juga ekonomi dunia.
Dato Sri Anwar said a special meeting was held today to discuss the recent crisis in West Asia. The Prime Minister added that the meeting at 6 p.m. also deliberated the next steps involving Malaysians after Iran's move against Israel. Malaysia, in its response to the development following Iran's attack on Israel early today, strongly urges all parties in the West Asia region to refrain and exercise great caution not to escalate the already tense situation. Foreign Minister Dato Sri Muhammad Hassan, in a statement today, urged the parties concerned to de-escalate and create the necessary environment to end the conflict immediately. He reiterates that the main objective is to find peace and a permanent solution to the plight of the Palestinian people and not widen the conflict. Elaborating on the development, Dato Sri Mohammed said the attacks by Iran is a response to the illegal bombing by Israel on the Iranian consulate in Damascus on the 1st of April. The strike killed at least 7 members of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, including 2 top generals. Iran posits that its actions are an act of self-defense and is provided for in accordance with Article 51 of the United Nations UN Charter. According to Dato Sri Mohammed, any further form of provocation or retaliation could ignite a devastating region-wide conflict that will not serve the region nor the Palestinian cause. Police have launched a manhunt for the man who shot and seriously injured a bodyguard at the KLIA Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Terminal 1, early this morning. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department CID Director Dato Sri Muhammad Suhaili Muhammad Zain said CID personnel in neighbouring states had been roped in for the operation, which will cover the country's broader areas. Dato Sri Muhammad Suhaili said the suspect had 3 past complaints filed against him by his wife dating back to 2016 and the latest last December. He also urged the 38-year-old suspect to turn himself in.
Hasil daripada laporan tersebut, suspek telah pun ditangkap oleh pihak polis. Dan kami telah menghantar kertas siasatan, namun ada beberapa arahan lain yang kita perlu laksanakan, dan saya rasa mengambil daripada insiden yang terakhir itulah isteri mengambil keputusan untuk mengajikan pengawal peribadi dia.
He said preliminary investigations showed that the shooting incident was due to a personal issue between the suspect and his wife, who is believed to be in the early stages of pregnancy. The couple was said to be in the process of getting a divorce. Meanwhile, Dato Sri Muhammad Suhaili said security measures at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA will be reviewed after the shooting incident. He also said that one of the reasons he decided to come to the airport was to meet with airport officials regarding security.
Seperti mana semua sedia maklum, kejadian yang melibatkan sebegini bukan kali pertama di KLIA. Namun untuk kawalan keselamatan yang lebih lanjut, yang lebih khusus, yang lebih terperinci, sememangnya akan dikajilah selepas ini. Namun ini adalah premis private ataupun yang syarat sasaran utama kan. So we will sit down and we will review back the security arrangement at the airport.
When asked about safety concerns at the airport, Datuk Sri Muhammad Suhaili said this was not a random attack as it was a clear-cut incident with a specific target and a personal vendetta. Therefore, he said the people should not be worried about security at airports at this moment. The water capacity at the SAHIH Dam has reached stage 3 of the critical level with a reading of 30.8% today, which could last 30 more days if it still does not rain. Pulau Pinang Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow said that so far this month the dam has only received 22.5 millimeters of rainfall compared to an expected 300 millimeters a month. Elaborating further on the matter, he said the state government has instructed the Pulau Pinang Water Supply Corporation, PBAPP, to continue implementing the SAHIH Dam Action Plan 2024, IDAP 2024, which involves 4 measures including minimizing the release of raw water from SAHIH Dam to the SAHIH Water Treatment Plant from 75 million litres per day, MLD, to 11 MLD to maintain an effective capacity at the SAHIH Dam.
Plan tindakan mengekalkan paras air hitam perlu diteruskan sehingga kita capai satu kadar yang lebih selesa.
Met today when asked about cloud seeding, he said the state government does not plan to implement the initiative since it has been raining for the past few weeks in Pulau Pinang. Previously, the PBAPP said that the effective capacity of the SAHIH Dam was at 32.4% in February. A total of 45 heat-related illness cases were reported nationwide until yesterday, involving 33 cases of heat exhaustion, 11 cases of heat stroke and 1 case of heat cramp. Health Director General Datuk Dr. Muhammad Razi Abu Hassan said 8 cases were reported each in Perak and Kedah and 6 in Selangor. He said there were 5 cases reported each in Johor, Negeri Sembilan and Pahang, 4 cases in Sabah, 2 cases in Perlis and 1 each in Pulau Pinang and Kelantan. Cumulatively, 2 deaths due to heat stroke have been reported. The first death was a 22-year-old man and the second was a 3-year-old boy in Kelantan. Datuk Dr. Muhammad Razi said there are currently 4 cases still receiving treatment in hospitals, including 1 heat stroke case treated in the intensive care unit ICU and 3 cases treated in regular wards consisting of 2 heat stroke cases and 1 case of heat exhaustion. He said the Health Ministry advises the public to continue to be cautious by ensuring adequate hydration and reducing strenuous physical activity as well as outdoor activities during the current hot weather. An attempt by 6 locals to smuggle 5,840 kg of rattans into a neighbouring country was thwarted by the Army in the early hours of Saturday. The Eastern Field Army Command Headquarters in a statement said that the incident occurred around 2:30 a.m. near a well-known local area called Pondok John, about 800 metres from the Malaysia-Indonesia border. During their routine attack and capture task Serkap, a team of soldiers spotted a suspicious lorry and pickup truck heading towards the border. Their vehicles were stopped for inspections and they found 6 Malaysians aged between 25 and 78 inside. Further examinations led to the discovery of 5,840 kg of rattans in the back of the lorry. The rattans, estimated to be worth around 78,840 ringgit, were intended for smuggling into Indonesia. Additionally, the vehicles used in the crime were seized, bringing the total seizure value to 283,840 ringgit. The statement further confirmed that a police report was lodged at Lubok Antu Police Station and all seized goods were handed over to the Sarawak Customs Department for further action. Prototype using river water gravitational force for green energy. A prototype will be established in Stumbin near Seri Aman to harness the gravitational force of river water to generate green energy. Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Oping said this innovative approach entails pumping water from a nearby river into an elevated tank from which it will be released through pipes to power turbines and generate electricity.
Apa yang kita perlu ialah force of water. Jadi eksperimen yang saya buat itu ialah untuk mengkaji berapa liter air yang kita boleh store dalam tank dan berapa velocity-nya, power-nya yang boleh memesinkan turbine dan boleh mengeluarkan katakan 500 kilowatt berapa. Dan kalau itu berlaku, then you can scale it up.
He said this to reporters during an Adil Fitri open house hosted by former Batang Lupa MP Datuk Sri Rohani Abdul Karim at her residence in Petra Jaya today. Tan Sri Abang Johari also emphasised the significance of such innovative approaches for Sarawak's future in green energy. He further stressed the importance of diversifying energy sources, highlighting the exploration of wave energy technology off the coast of Samalaju as another promising initiative. He added the initiative is also a prototype indicating the state's efforts to diversify green energy sources beyond their current capacity, including solar and biomass. Better prospects for the local boss in 2024 will foster a more conducive environment for initial public offerings, IPOs, this year, especially from among small and medium enterprises or SMEs. Muhammad Sidek Jantan, the head of Wealth Research and Advisory and designated portfolio manager at UOB Kehian Wealth Advisors, said the barometer index is anticipated to perform positively this year, projecting the index to reach 1,605 points. He noted that the Malaysian stock market displayed a positive trajectory in the first quarter of 2024, with the FBM KLCI index ending at 1,536.07, up 5.60%. An upward trend was sustained throughout the quarter, with the index reaching its peak at 1,558, underpinned by a resilient domestic economy and effective policy implementation. Other key factors driving this growth included appealing valuations, high dividend yields, and a depreciation in ringgit, which attracted additional investments. He said that given the market's anticipation of forthcoming rate cuts, the upward trajectory will likely persist. Muhammad Siddiq further noted that despite a subdued market in the first quarter, Malaysia and Indonesia remain prominent destinations for IPO users in the region. 9 IPOs were listed on Bursa Malaysia, comprising 8 in the ACE market and Prolintas Infra Business Trust in the main market. Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said the recent report by the ASEAN Plus 3 Macroeconomic Research Office, or UMRO, on Malaysia's growth underscores its potential to become a high-income nation by 2030, driven by significant foreign direct FDI inflows. He said Malaysia is dedicated to attracting high-technology companies and encouraging value chain advancement within existing industries. He also said efforts are also ongoing to boost the semiconductor ecosystem through the new Industrial Master Plan NIMP 2030, which includes attracting wafer fabs and advancing packaging assembly and testing capacities to reinforce Malaysia's global industry position. Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul was replying to an ex-posting by a local financial media quoting UMRO on the Malaysian economy and the year-end peak of the semiconductor upcycle. According to UMRO, Malaysia's gross domestic product is expected to grow by 5% this year, outpacing ASEAN's average of 4.8%. UMRO also said economic growth in the regional bloc is expected to improve, premised on higher exports on the back of the semiconductor upcycle, continued strength in the US goods consumption, and robust demand for travel and services. Investments from Japan to Malaysia are expected to expand further into new areas of retail, green and sustainable energy, digital industry, and as well as increase in capacity in traditional areas in the manufacturing sector. Japanese ambassador to Malaysia Katsuhiko Yakahashi said Japanese companies view Malaysia as an attractive investment hub and are eager to do business in Malaysia. While Takahashi may not be able to divulge the number of Japanese investments coming into Malaysia this year, he said based on recent trends, there will be a growth from an investment inflow of 5.272 billion ringgit last year. He emphasized that Japanese companies are interested in expanding into the green energy sector, particularly in addressing climate change in line with Malaysia's aspirations to be carbon neutral by 2050. He also pointed out that Japanese economy is in a transitional period after a relatively quiet period for more than 25 years, with the government's efforts to stimulate the economy in order to come out from a period of economic stagnation. Takahashi emphasized that Japan and Malaysia had already established strong diplomatic and economic relations built upon the Look East policy that was first adopted in 1982. Adding to that, Malaysia and China must continue to leverage on their respective advantages and mutual support as they pursue closer relations amidst challenges in the evolving regional and global landscape. Deputy Dean of China ASEAN Research Institute at the Guangzhou University, China, Associate Professor Lau Chuan Yu said Malaysia and China cannot be satisfied with the achievements made in their traditional cooperation, as collaborations in new and emerging sectors should be intensified to propel prospects of this strategic partnership ahead. He noted that Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, in reaffirming Malaysia's support for China's Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) and commitment to further promote trade cooperation with China in building a more stable and resilient industrial and supply chain, has sent a positive signal to Beijing on the future of the relationship. The economic field has been the highlight of Malaysia-China bilateral cooperation. In 2023, total trade volume reached 450.84 billion ringgit, making China Malaysia's largest trading partner for the 15th consecutive year. Hence, Lau said Malaysia and China should aim to further maximize their potential of economic and trade cooperation. This included by fully utilizing the bilateral and multilateral trade platforms such as the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership CPTPP. Still ahead, military action taken based on UN Charter. Iran's Parliament Speaker Muhammad Bagher Ghalibaf said the Islamic Republic's military action in response to the recent Israeli attack against the country's diplomatic premises in Damascus is based on the UN Charter. Iran's response will be stronger if the Zionist regime or its allies make another mistake, according to Ghalibaf on Sunday in the opening session at the Iranian Parliament. The official's remarks come as the Islamic Revolution Guards Corps fired dozens of missiles and drones on Israeli targets on Saturday in response to the Israeli terrorist attack on Iran's consulate building in Syria on the 1st of April. He added that the deterrent response of Iran's territorial supporters had delighted the ruling authorities. Iran's ambassador and permanent representative to the UN, Amir Saeed Iravani, has said that should the Israeli regime commit any military aggression again, Iran's response will assuredly and decisively be stronger and more resolute. He further stressed that Saturday's attack was in response to the Israeli terrorist attack on Iran's consulate building in Syria. Malaysia, meanwhile, is closely monitoring the developments in the West Asia following the recent Iran-Israel tensions to ensure the safety and well-being of its citizens in the region. The Foreign Ministry Wisma Putra in its statement on Sunday said, as a result of the escalating tensions, several countries including Iran, Jordan, Lebanon and Iraq have closed their airspace. According to the statement, Malaysians in the region should be prepared for potential disruptions to flight schedules and are advised to make necessary adjustments to their travel plans. Wisma Putra also advised Malaysians in the region to remain vigilant, stay informed and follow the instructions of the local authorities. The statement added that any Malaysian who requires assistance while abroad can kindly contact the nearest Malaysian embassy or consulate in case of an emergency. Fighting in men's doubles finals. Stay with us. We begin with badminton. National men's doubles pair Go Zifei Nur Izzuddin Rumsani gave it their all, but still fell 17-21, 21-15, 10-21 to world number 3 Liang Wei Keng Wang Chang in the final at the Badminton Asia Championships BAC 2024 in Ningbo today. The unseeded Zifei Nur Izzuddin, however, can hold their heads high for fighting gallantly for an hour and 4 minutes against the home pair at the Ningbo Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium. Zifei Nur Izzuddin began aggressively, but it was the Chinese pair who clinched the first game. Undeterred, the Malaysian pair found their rhythm to take the second game and force a decider. In the rubber game, 2022 German Open champions Zifei Nur Izzuddin's game took a nosedive as the Chinese pair turned on the style to romp home to victory in front of a raucous home crowd. Malaysia last won the men's doubles title in the BAC when Chung Tan Phúc Lee Wan Wah defeated teammates Kun Kian Kiat, Tan Boon Hyong in the 2007 edition in Johor Bahru. Manchester City moved to the top of the Premier League as lowly Luton were eased aside 5-1 at the Etihad on Saturday. Amid a grueling schedule, Pep Guardiola could hardly have wished for a kinder fixture in between the two legs of his side's Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. City seemed set for a stress-free afternoon from the moment they opened the scoring after just 2 minutes. Erling Haaland's shot deflected off the unfortunate Daiki Hashioka into his own net. Yet the floodgates refused to open as the English champions had to wait until after the hour mark before making the point save when Mateo Kovacic smashed in Julian Alvarez crossed at the edge of the box. Ross Barkley netted a late consolation for Luton, but they have just 5 games left to save their top-flight status. Jeremy Doku fired into the far corner after jinking through the Luton defence before Josko Gvardiol scored his second goal in a week after opening his City account in Madrid. Victory takes City 2 points clear of Arsenal and Liverpool, who both have a game in hand and are in action on Sunday. Elsewhere, Manchester United's chances of Champions League football next season took another battering as Bruno Fernandes' double could only salvage a 2-2 draw at Bournemouth on Saturday. Twice the Cherries led through Dominic Solanke and Justin Kluivert, and Bournemouth were denied the opportunity to win the game at the death after a controversial VAR review overturned the decision to award the home side a penalty. A point leaves United still 10 adrift of Aston Villa and Tottenham in the race for a top 4 finish with 6 games to go. The Red Devils have now won just once in their last 7 Premier League games to leave Erik ten Hag's future as United boss next season in doubt. Once again, it was United's defensive deficiencies that were exploited as Bournemouth just missed out on a famous double after winning 3-0 at Old Trafford earlier in the season. The point leaves Bournemouth still in 12th, 8 points adrift of United in the European places. Moving on to motorsports, Aprilia's Maverick Vinales won the sprint at the Grand Prix of the Americas on Saturday to claim his second straight sprint victory of the season ahead of Marc Marquez and MotoGP Championship leader Jorge Martin in an all-Spanish podium. The victory was redemption for pole sitter Vinales, who also won the sprint at the Portuguese Grand Prix in the previous round but crashed on the final lap of the race in Portimao due to a technical problem when he was running in second place. Vinales is now only the second rider to win back-to-back sprints in MotoGP. Fantic Racing's Aaron Canet meanwhile took pole in the Moto2 with David Alonso of CF Moto Aspa team taking his first ever Grand Prix pole in the Moto3. Earlier, Aprilia's Maverick Vinales took pole position for MotoGP's Grand Prix of the Americas after smashing the lap record. The Spaniard claimed pole with a time of 2 minutes 0.789 seconds, beating rookie Pedro Acosta by 0.328 seconds, followed by Marquez and last year's champion Francesco Bagnaia. Vinales, who won the Portuguese GP sprint last month, said he felt very confident as he improved and made some progression in every race. Vinales' Aprilia teammate and championship leader Jorge Martin finished 6th after crashing twice. Brand Binder, second in the standings, came in 15th.
Isu-isu sukan tempatan di pelbagai arena, pelbagai gelanggang. Pencapaian dan kontroversi akan dikupas dan dibincangkan dalam Planet Sukan setiap Ahad 10 malam di TV1 dan saluran sukan RTM. Saksikan juga secara penstreaman langsung di RTM Klik.
That's it from us this evening. In our top story, attack on Israel, a consequence of Israeli government breaking international laws. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.